Welcome to this edition of the WFL Update. I am your host, Kyle Walsh. This week, we will hear from Dr. Matthew Mayo as he gives us an update on this week's injuries and continues to talk about the past ones. And Jaimie and I will give you our predictions as to whom we think will win. Not everyone will. Now let's get on to this week's top games. First up is Louisville at Las Vegas. The defending champs are back. Winners of 5 straight games, Louisville is in tie for first place with the only team to ever get a win at United Stadium, the Las Vegas Diablos. This game will be about if Vegas quarterback Lawrence Price can at least keep his team in the game. Louisville is second against the run, and Las Vegas certainly would like to lean on road to the Zeal, if you know what I mean. That's hard to do against the Wolfpack's defensive line. If the Diablos can sorry, I messed that up. If the Diablos can force some turnovers and get 200 yards at a Price, they have a good chance to take down the Red Hot Wolfpack. I doubt it. More on that later. The next game is Cincinnati at Cleveland. A couple of weeks ago, this rivalry didn't seem to carry much merit. Now, the matchup is more important than ever. Two Central Division teams are desperate for a win to stay in the realistic hunt in the jumbled up Eastern Conference. Just 2 games separate second and 8th place in the East, so any conference win is a big lift nowadays. The Sentinels are by far the worst team on third down, converting only 26% of their third down attempts. For Cleveland to pull the upset, they will need another good game out of Matt Saracen. Cincinnati is 4th in the league in pass defense, so a good game from Saracen would go a long way. Now we got Minnesota at Los Angeles. Los Angeles has lost 4 games this year by a combined total of 16 points, including a 24-20 loss to Minnesota in the first matchup between these two teams. Minnesota is undefeated at home, but just 1-3 on the road, so LA playing at home could be crucial. This game should provide a passing frenzy. Both teams rank in the top 5 in passing yards and passing yards allowed. Expect a team that gets the better production out of their defense to win. LA also has to take care of the football. Part of the reason the team is 2-5 is because they have 13 turnovers, the most in the WFL. Sad.
In this week's Game of the Week, we have the 4-3 Maulers at the 5-2 Destruction. Last time these two teams met, the Destruction embarrassed the Maulers in front of their home crowd, beating Boston 15-0 and dropping the Maulers to rock bottom. Boston has won 2 of their last 3 since then, 2 straight, and hope to get revenge in an important game in the Atlantic Division. For Boston to get a win, they will need to defy the odds. Not only has Boston not been able to get Bam Bam Thunderman going consistently, but the Boston Maulers go up against the league's best run defense. Delaware only gives up 50.14 rushing yards per game. The last time these two teams met, Boston rushed for 42. Boston must find a way to unleash the run in Bam Bam Thunderman.
And now here's our injury report with WFL medical consultant Dr. Matthew Mayo. Take it away, Matt.
Hi, this is WAFL medical consultant Dr. Matthew Mayo, and this is your Week 8 injury update. Chicago's talented outside linebacker Jay Coker is out with a strained pectoral. It does, however, seem to be a fairly minor injury, and team representatives suggest he will miss 2 weeks. This may be another blow to an already struggling Ghost squad who has just come off of their first win of the season. Coker's replacement will most likely be special teams player Carl Wall, who has only managed to record 2 tackles on the season. However, I don't personally expect Coker to be missed much, as he has had a very underwhelming year, only recording 24 tackles and 0 sacks throughout the first 6 games. While Paul Young's leg is healing well, his relationship with backup and replacement quarterback Joe Sloan may be broken. Sources close to the team tell me that Young reportedly ripped Sloan a new one after Cincinnati's recent loss to the Maulers. It appears that Sloan's underwhelming 12 of 29 performance with a touchdown and interception didn't make Mr. Perfect a believer. Young supposedly strongly urged Sloan to start spending as much time on game film as he has been. It will be interesting to note if Sloan can bounce back this week. Cleveland's Johnny Hoffman remains out with a strained Achilles. Cleveland's medical staff tells me that Hoffman has started sprinting and will return to light practice sometime this week. After a much improved week for the Stallions' passing game, there was still no standout receiver. If they can continue to improve their efficiency, they might just peak as Hoffman returns. Immortal running back Vince Lawson remains out indefinitely. Lawson had reportedly received a second opinion, and early reports indicate that he may have suffered a fractured vertebrae, similar to that of NFL star Peyton Manning. Lawson will undergo another MRI later this week. Las Vegas quarterback Michael O'Connor may have received a pain-killing injection prior to warm-ups for this week's matchup versus Queen City. Hopes were that O'Connor would be able to play through the pain. However, after some easy throwing, it became quite apparent this would not be the case. With Mr. Walsh's post-game praise of backup quarterback Price, it appears that the Diablos will be content to allow O'Connor to heal at his own pace. After recording one reception for 19 yards, Minnesota's top receiver Jack McKinley went down indefinitely with a torn hamstring. This injury is often difficult for receivers to recover from, and his season may be in jeopardy. His ability to find the end zone this year will surely be missed, meaning that tight end Wilson Quarles will most likely benefit from increased targets in the red zone. If backups Ray Reed Porter or Amobi Wilson fail to step up, the Spartans' passing attack is likely to suffer. Osaka, secretive as ever, has yet to publicly announce the injury to wide receiver Zach Clark. The only info is that Clark is likely to be ready in another 4 to 6 weeks. However, my sources tell me that Clark may have taken a leave of absence to deal with some sort of personal issue. What this exactly means, I'm not sure. However, this could be an interesting story. Philadelphia's run towards World Bowl II may have taken a significant hit with the season-ending injury to free safety Marshall London. Much like St. Louis quarterback Taylor's injury, London's injury will require surgery. London apparently has already traveled to speak with orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews regarding his options. Owner Max Winter has also been very vocal in his need for a replacement, much to the anger of top backups quarterback Chris Williamson and strong safety Tracy Brooks. Williamson specifically has actually successfully defended more passes this season than London, in much less playing time. This, however, doesn't matter much to Winter, as he has already traded for St. Louis free safety Hank Rotem in exchange for a second-round draft pick. Rotem has been the leading tackler and pass defender for the Hornet defense. Sources close to the Irons Williamson has stated he will likely ask for a trade. Kevin Taylor's season will officially end this week, as he is elected to undergo surgery at home in St. Louis with orthopedic surgeon Dr. Rick Wright. Dr. Wright has assured Daley Holder and the rest of the St. Louis organization that there should be no lingering effects and Taylor should return at 100% next season. I am WAFL medical consultant Dr. Matthew Mayo, and this has been your Week 8 injury update. Back to you, Kyle.
And here are our picks for Week 8. First on the block is Boston at Delaware.
I think that Delaware is going to win this.
I'm going to go with Boston. I think even though their offense hasn't been performing, I think Bam Bam Thunderman's finally started to get into his own a little bit. Last week at Cincinnati, he did pretty well, and I think he'll get going again this week at Delaware.
Yeah, but I think that you have to look at the team that he was going up against, and they don't have the best run defense as Delaware does. So I think that Delaware's going to do this, and Delaware seems to always spring back after their loss. Next, we have Edmonton at Queen City.
I think this is going to be another good game. Chris Knowles leading the league in rushing, and I just think I'm going to actually go with Queen City. I think Queen City is going to beat Edmonton.
I think I'm going to go with Edmonton. I think that they played such a good game last week. I think that they're going to play a good game again and this time pull it out for a win.
All right, we got Baltimore at Philadelphia.
I'm actually going to go with Baltimore on this one. I think that Philadelphia is just pulling through barely, and that Baltimore is going to do this.
I'm going to go with Philadelphia. Yeah, they're 6-1, and they've barely won. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or win by a mile. You still win.
Yep, a win's a win, no matter how you do it.
Next up, you got Osaka at St. Louis.
I feel bad for St. Louis. I really do. I think that they're a good team, and I think that there's a couple of games that they should have won, and they didn't. But I think that, as that said, they still have to work on it, and I think Osaka's going to win.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with Osaka as well. I just think that they haven't found – I also think St. Louis has found their groove yet. Hopefully in the offseason they'll find what they're looking for. Next up, we have Minnesota at LA. I'm going with LA. I think it's their time to shine, and
I agree with you. I think they've had so many close games that this is the game they need to win, and I think they will win.
I think so too. Chicago at Sterling. Chicago had a heck of a game last week. They won in triple overtime, and I think they performed really well, and I think they can do it again. I'm going with Chicago.
I'm going to have to go with Sterling. I think that Chicago's a one-hit wonder, at least this week. I think that it was a good game, but I don't think it's going to pull them through to the next week. I think it was just a one-time thing.
Yeah, but it was against Edmonton.
It was, but it's a one-time thing. Plus, they're away, and I think they just built their home spirit up. I just think that Sterling will win. Go Sterling!
Cincinnati at Cleveland.
I feel bad for Cincinnati. And I don't know if it's just my need to go against them, but I'm going to go with Cleveland.
I'm going with Cincinnati. I think Sloan's proven he's a pretty good quarterback, and he's not the best, but at least by far. But at least he doesn't, run all the time like Young did. And I think he has a good pocket where he can stay and he can throw. So I think I'm gonna go with Cincinnati this week.
And lastly, we have Louisville at Las Vegas.
I think this is going to be a good game. Yeah, Vegas is out their star quarterback, but Price showed that he stepped it up pretty well, and they almost won with a fourth quarter comeback. But I'm still going to go with Louisville this week, just because I think they're the better team. They're on a hot streak, and I just think they're the champs of old again, and I don't think there's any stopping them.
I completely agree with you. Las Vegas, I think they did really well in the situation that they're in, but they're going up against Louisville, and I just think Louisville's the better team.
Yep.
And that has been our picks for Week 8.
WAFL fans, check out our other forms of league media with the WFL Pulse on Blog Talk Radio every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Central with Cameron Irvine and Chet Ubetcha, hosting and competitive banter like no one else can provide. The Ace Report podcast is available for download every Monday with host Ace Worrells. Ace breaks down the week that was in the WAFL and gives us his credit where credit is due. Inside the WFL podcast is available for download every Tuesday with host Ronnie Nickens. Nickens will dig deep inside the next week's slate of games and look back at weeks past. Also, WFL YouTube has you covered with top 10 plays and, of course, the WFL Update, which is new every Wednesday. And that does it this week. From our WFL Update studios in Orlando, Florida, I'm your host, Kyle Walsh. Enjoy all of this week's games.
Watch every game live on the WFL Network at www.justin.tv/WFLfootball. Visit the website daily for new articles and podcasts and more at www.wflfootball.com.